Welcome to Autism Talk. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for your comments. I'm looking at my views and I appreciate each and every one of you who view my videos. I thank you and keep up the good work. All right. So I'm coming to you today to give you some information, additional information about children with autism in a classroom, some challenges they may have, things that teachers may identify, which is great. Um, and give us some information, put us in the know. So we as parents, teachers, aunts, uncles, cousins, niece, nephews, how to inform us on the challenges or some of the things that people on the spectrum may encounter or have to deal with on a daily basis, outside of what others may deal with on a daily basis. Okay. So I'll start off with sharing some challenges that children with autism face in the classroom. Okay. Um, just think about this person going to school and this person and this person does certain things or you're aware of certain things that may disturb this person, okay? That's on the spectrum. And just think they're carrying whatever those characteristics that and behaviors and things that you have identified. They're carrying that over into a classroom of people who do not know them. God forbid this is going to middle school. Okay, we're not even talking about your first day of school, ever attending school. We're saying going to middle school. Whew, middle school is crazy. It's difficult within itself. And then moving over to high school. Okay, so those are all new transitions for the person that's moving over, that's changing and going through different changes. Their body changes, they're growing, their mental changing, and being on the spectrum is changing also because you're learning new things. So just keeping that in mind, what you know about the person, and that person is going into a setting, into a strange land where people do not know, and those people have to learn about them. Okay. And then the one with the spectrum have to learn about the others. Kind of crazy, right? I know. It's very difficult. It really is. Students with autism, they often benefit from structure, things that are in routine and clear expectations. I've mentioned this before in other videos. Um, the reason why structure works so well because they know what's going to happen. They know what's expected of them. They know what's the next thing to do. So they need that structure. They don't have to guess at what to do and be all confused, making it routine. They know what's happening at 7 o'clock, what's happening at 8 o'clock, what's happening at 10 o'clock. They know they have 2 hours on this. They know they have 30 minutes on this. So they need that structure, things scheduled, and they need it routine where every day is this way, or every Tuesday we do um, cursive writing at 8 o'clock in the morning. They know every day at 6 in the morning, I'm waking up at 6, I'm having breakfast by 6:15. So that's that routine. It just helps them because they know what's going to happen. They are well aware. They're not surprised. They're not in shock. It doesn't take them off guard. They're well aware of structure, routine, and clear expectations, giving them clear directions, clear, so they understand and know what to expect always works in their favor. They struggle with ambiguity, situations where they interact with new people or deal with unexpected changes. That doesn't work well with them. It's like a stranger every day. Even when the teacher comes in, saying in a classroom, and there's a substitute that can throw the whole day off. That could throw the whole day off. The best thing for the teacher to do is to get the student prepared for them being out or absent on that day. If the teacher knows they're not going to be at school, be at work on Thursday, they need to let the children know, let them know that they will not be there on Thursday. And these are the expectations for that day. And they will return on such and such day, like letting them know that ahead of time. Um, Keep this in mind, there's a parts of the day that are unstructured, that are unroutine, don't have a routine, and there's no clear expectations. Think about that at school. There are times that that is happening. Lunchtime, recess time. Some schools have snack time, a break in between. So those could be very confusing and difficult times for a person on the spectrum because there's no structure. The only part structured about lunch is that lunch is at 12 o'clock. But once they get out there into the lunch area, they have all the different kids doing what they're doing. Um, and it's just chaos to them. They need to, like, no, everybody needs to sit right here. No, everybody, okay, everybody needs, okay, well, I'm going back to this room. And, they need some type of structure and something routine that they can always be able to do that. But there are times on that campus where there are not structured time, no routines, and the expectations aren't that clear. You know, um, there are few clear expectations. They know lunchtime may be the time to eat lunch, maybe where to eat lunch, but what happens after that? If I've completed my lunch or people are acting unruly or, things like that, what do I do after that? So just keep that in mind that they're going to deal with those particular times of the day until I guess you can say it becomes routine or norm, or even creating a schedule for them during that time to help them through it. Keep in mind, people on the spectrum um, might have issues with social interaction. That's too much going on right there. They don't want to interact with the others. It could be loud noises. Remember, some have sensory issues, um, disordered environments. Especially in middle school, they fighting out there, okay? Arguing, fighting, playing so hard, where people they don't understand. Um, I was just playing and the other person takes it serious. It's full of noise, excitement, movement, and it becomes very overwhelming, sensory overwhelming during lunch and breaks and recess and things like that. So that might not be the happiest time of their day. It might be the most difficult time of their day. But keep that in mind. Just think about it. I'm not saying everyone that is their difficult time or anything, but there may be some that lunch and recess and those breaks and stuff may be difficult. Even if they're in middle school and they're going from class to class, that time moving from one class to the next class may be difficult because of the noise. They have sensory, it could be um, spatial, where someone's too close to them or someone touching them. We have all these different concerns and things that people with autism or on the spectrum, may have. Okay, so we have to think about those, and these are some of the most frequently occurring challenges for people on the spectrum. Sensory dysfunction, the hall buzzers, the bell ringing, fluorescent lights in the room, children yelling and screaming and running around in the classroom, outside the classroom. All those sounds and noises reverberating, through the halls, the corridors, echoing and stuff. Even one of these factors can be a source of sensory overload in students. The fire drill, could be huh, a recipe for a meltdown. Okay. But just know what they're going through throughout the day, especially think about if they're in middle school. How many times does that bell ring throughout the day? Who's been to a middle school and that fire alarm wasn't pulled just as a joke, just triggered? Okay. The noises, the kids screaming and hollering, laughing and playing and yelling, ah, down the hall and everything with the indoor hall and it's echoing. Okay. So those would be some challenges that someone on the spectrum would deal with at school. You also have reading and verbal comprehension. Some children on the spectrum don't usually function well with standardized testing. because their modes of thinking and being are so different from others. Okay. Their verbal expression and comprehension don't come naturally to them as others. This particularly can, man, can just cause a student to what? Just give up, give in, shut down. A lot of the standard testing is timed. So putting that timetable on it, it can just shut a student down. They put too much pressure on themselves trying to meet the time. And if their reading level is at a lower level, or maybe they read slower but comprehend very well, like there are all so many different combinations. And didn't have enough time, or it was allotted on the IEP to give additional time is great. But once that student knows that, they still kind of have that pressure on themselves, like, I got to finish in a certain time. I got to finish in a certain time. It seems like they don't relax with it, be like, oh, okay, I have plenty of time. That's not how their brains are functioning. Okay. Um, so standardized testing is definitely something that they struggle with. And that's just, those testing period could be an anxiety or create that anxiety, trying to know it all on that day or at that moment or time. Um, some other challenges like their fine and gross motor skills. Some children have a difficult time writing, drawing, cutting, pasting, manipulating small objects, playing with the ball, catching the ball, cutting with scissors. All those difficult challenges, all those challenges can, really wear on a person in a day. Trying to play kickball or throwing the frisbee or running or skipping. We take all that for granted, thinking those are all very simple tasks. There are some of us, those are difficult. Those are difficult. Them fine and gross motor skills can be difficult, very difficult, and make our day or make their day challenging. And once again, a mixture of things happening can definitely create a meltdown. A meltdown. Um, Lots of people on the spectrum they're prone to stimming, some stimming behavior, and that could be rocking. Yeah, that could be flapping their hands, just different things for stimming. I think I spoke on stimming in a video before. I would just suggest that you go back and find the stimming videos. Um, these skills kind of help them maintain or cope with what's going on in their surroundings. Um, it's important to keep the learning in a classroom interactive, uh, safe, uh, a safe environment, healthy environment, so that students can be productive and successful. You have social communications that they may struggle with, which is one of the biggest hurdles with people on the spectrum faces, is development in the social communication. So trying to teach them how to interact with one another, but also keep that in mind. That's another challenge throughout the day. My teacher is trying to make me interact with this person, and I don't want to talk to that person. It's pushing them to their limits. Okay. Um, and sometimes, they have to tolerate other people's behaviors, that are on the spectrum. It's like, man, it's just too much coming in. But they do notice and they do learn, and they're able to grow and be able to tolerate others' behaviors, their behaviors, and try to function in this sea of confusion for them. Okay. And we're trying to calm down some of that confusion for them so they can understand it and it won't be so confusing with them or upon them. So these are some of the challenges I want you to keep in mind that that student that's on the spectrum deal with on a daily basis going to school. What school is 5 days a week? And sometimes these parents have them doing something on the weekends that's just like being set up in a school. Remember environment, remember behavior, remember rules. Remember, there's a lot of things out there that need to be controlled for people on the spectrum. And then, as things are being controlled in those safe environments to make them feel safe, to be able to grow, they also have to be taught how to tolerate things or be aware of things that's probably outside of their realm of control. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to share some challenges children with autism face in the classroom. Keep that in mind and empathize with them. And teachers, those of you that are teaching those with on the spectrum, you are well aware of all that you need to take care of. Don't forget, be nice, be kind to yourself and kind to them. Thank you. Have a great day. And thanks for listening and watching my video. And my email is down below, webpage is down below. And please leave a comment. Thank you so very much.